Hey guys, this is going to be a quick how-to video on how to change the brake pads on an X5M. This is a 2011 model, an E70. There are some other videos on X5s. You can look at those videos, but if you have the M, this is completely different than the regular X5 front brake pads. The rear brake pads are very similar to any other car's brake pads. They come apart in two pieces, and if you're familiar with that, it's a cakewalk. It's pretty easy. So, but back up to the front, it's a little bit different. I've never seen a brake pad come out this way, or a caliper that looks anything like this. So if you can see, the back comes apart on the brake caliper. So, and there's 4 pistons, one here, 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 and here. And they basically you just squeeze them with your hand. You can use both hands, and you can feel them go in. You don't have to really apply that much pressure to them, but they go in very easy. There's a spring clip that goes on here, right above the brakes. Sorry, I've already got the brakes off of this one. I'm just kind of giving you a rundown before I jump into the other side and show you guys more detail. And then there's these these two pins that hold everything together. And there's like a clip right here on the back that kind of wedges itself into this hole, and that's what it's like it's like a retainer that holds everything together. And the wire that you see, the green wire there, that is my. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it. I'm just gonna clean it up with some alcohol and a rag. It should still be good. My brake pads were not wore out. I'm just getting rid of the OEM brake pads because I just want a different. I don't want to start a a heated war on brake pads, but I want to have my own version of brake pads on my car for my own reasons. So I'm not going to tell you what they are, but it's going to be a lot less dust, and they're going to handle the heat a lot better as well. That's that for now, and I'll show you on the next wheel. The good parts that we're looking for is on the back side of this thing, which is right there. All nice and dirty, so might be hard to see, but that's it right there. So there's 2 pins that hold all this together. There is also some bolts back here that hold the whole thing on, which is a E18, which is this guy. And let me tell you, it is a pain to find. I went to Harbor Freight, found it. It worked great. I thought I needed to take all this off until I realized these 2 pins are the only things really holding the brake pads in. That and the spring clip here. 3 parts. Very easy. So these are the brake pads for the X5M front. They're giant. I mean, the biggest brake pads I've seen for a car or SUV. Okay, so to get these guys off, I have a punch, which is, hopefully you can see it, it's right here. Yeah, it is, if you want to know the size of it. I don't know if there's a size on this. Let's see, it's a 3/32. And I'm basically just going to put them on the nose of these pins right here and gently just tap them out. Don't want to do any damage to anything. And this is all lefty. It's gonna be kind of hard for me to do this because I'm righty. So like I said, I'm gonna put the pin here. And hopefully keep it on there. So as you can see, the pin is backing out on the backside. Just like that. I'm gonna do the other side. And it gets to a point where you can just actually pull it. Maybe push on the spring clip here. Might loosen it. All right, I went ahead and just kind of started knocking in the lower one to loosen it up. And I pushed on the bottom spring. And like I said, it just comes right out. There's just a lot of brake dust and grime and everything on there holding it in the hole. So it's hot in here. Go Florida. Come on. Let go. All right, so there it is. Hope you can see that. It's all that nasty, like just junk on there. My camera died, so now I'm using my cell phone. So those are the 3 pins holding everything together. Slid the pins out, both bottom and the top, together about the same time, and you just push on the spring clip, the top of the bottom where the pin goes through, and it will release the pins even more. You can just pull them straight out. And that's what they look like, just three things holding in the brakes. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull these brakes out, but I'm gonna set up this light to where you guys can see what's going on. Just like that. Sorry for the shaking. Holding the camera. I'm trying to do this at the same time. So there's a little notch right here. It's gonna use last time. And let me see if I can get in there. So you see how it kind of moved. It only moves so far. And you want to do this, kind of go back and forth like that. You don't want to really force it. And eventually you get out to a certain point and you can just pull it. I don't have gloves on right now, so I don't want to grab it yet. But that's the idea. Same with the back side as well. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull out the brake pads, the front one first, and then we'll go to the back one. So I just showed you real quick on my phone what I normally do, and you get out to a certain point, and you just jiggle it, you know, top and bottom, until it just slides right out. Just like that. That as well. All right, so there's no brake sensor on this side. There's usually just a brake sensor on one wheel up front and one on back. So you don't have to worry about it on this side. And now I can actually push in the pistons. There's 4 of them. I basically just kind of grab the puck and just apply pressure, and it will start to go in. You don't have to apply a whole lot, just kind of squeeze it. It's not going to go fast, it's going to go fairly slow. Each puck is individualized. Just like that, until it's flush. And I'll do the other one. Just like that. And do the other ones back here. Okay guys, so I have the silicone on the back side of the brake pad, which you can see here. And I'm just going to slide it in. And the same with the other one. Make sure when you put these on, you put the brake pad that touches the rotor. I've heard of stories of people doing that incorrectly. I can only imagine how that went. Just like that. And what I want to do is go clean these up, just so they're easier to slide in. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put all the parts together and just slide in the pins. your spring clip. Goes in right here. And the other pin. You have to slide these out just a little bit if they're too far in. Just like that. And then push it on the spring clip and then slide it. The same with this one. Like that. And then just gently tap them in. They should just go right into the guided holes. Like this one, it's actually this is just a spring clip, and then you have two pins right here, which I just cleaned up. And what you're seeing is my first time actually doing this, so if I'm fumbling with it, it's because I haven't done it yet. When you see it here, it's ready to go. And now all I need to do is line it up, make sure it's good. And it's going to get really tight at this point, apparently. So push on a few things at the same time. Knocking the brake dust off. It's lined up, it's just really tight. So I'm trying not to hit it very hard. Sure it's all good to go here. It's all pretty much lining up. It's just really tight. A lot of it has to do with that spring. And then what I'm going to do is get the punch on the back of these and just kind of lightly just kind of hammer them in to where they're seated all the way. But maybe I don't. Because that looks like it was like, well, no, actually maybe one a little further. So So I'm going to use the pin and just put it over. Sorry, I'm going to probably block the camera view here. Now it's fully seated, it's flush. So that pin has to be flush back here where this head is. So once you have that in, it should be good. This is hard to do with trying to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing here. So like I said, it's my first time doing this. Fully seated. They're both flush. All right guys, before I get started, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off because I really need to see the level of the oil fluid. I just don't want to go over the full mark. So I just want to show you real quick on these little black nuts right here. They're just plastic. So they have this little notch here that line up with a notch on the nut itself. And it's like a quarter to half turn, just like that, very gently, just do it, otherwise you may break them off on the inside. And then there's one more back here, hopefully you guys can see that, sorry about the shaking. And then you may have to pull this up as well. All right, so this black trim literally just kind of pulls up just like this. I'm just gonna go like halfway to where it sits over here. So it's been a while since I pulled this up because I pulled this up on the last time I did the back brakes when I switched those out. So this basically just kind of pulls up from underneath this side and then it just kind of pulls up and out just like that. Fairly quick and easy. And you can see the full mark right here. I've already pushed, like I said, I've already replaced the pads on this side here. So if you can see the level there, right there, you can see it's already at the max. I knew this was going to happen. I just forgot to tell the guys to kind of keep it low a little bit because I was going to do this like a few weeks later. I should have did it before I took it in, but I forgot about it until I gave my car to the dealership to replace this fluid. So now what I've got to do is pop the top. I'm not going to do anything just yet. I'm just going to pop the top and relieve pressure for the other side. Sorry, I'm going to twist this off. It just twists off. And just kind of leave it like that. That way, if any fluid gets pushed up any higher, I don't want it to create pressure in here and break anything. So it'll actually just kind of come and overflow a little bit, but I don't think it's going to because it's fairly low still, but it's on the max point. So what I'm going to do, sorry, kind of running on here. I'm going to push the 4 calipers in on the other side and then see where the level is here. If it's significantly higher than it is now, I'm going to drain it off with just a paper towel, and it'll soak it up until it'll soak up the excessive fluid, and it'll actually go down to the max point.